Starting a new collection. Wait a minute, do I need to start a new collection? I think I've got enough books as it is. But anyway, we'll continue. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and I'm going to talk about starting a new collection of Regency books. What happened was, I kind of liked these books a lot, and Regency books were published from 1961 to 1963. They were published by William Hamling, who did a lot of the Greenleaf books, and previous to that he did some science fiction magazines, and he also did Nightstand Books, which is a sleaze imprint. And in the Nightstand Books, the first editor was Harlan Ellison, who also had a book in that series, Sex Gang. And Harlan wrote the back cover blurbs on a lot of those books, the early ones. And then a year later, Earl Kemp took over, and he was the editor for a long time at all the Hamling imprints, as well as Greenleaf and all of that. But Ellison then went to Regency Books. What happened was he wanted to always he always wanted to be the editor and publish a really avant-garde, interesting, cool, great imprint of books, and Hamling let him do Regency Books, so he started Regency Books. And Ellison was the editor of it. He had a couple of books of his own that were published in that series. The series ran from 61 to 63. There were 42 books in the series. They start from RB 101, which is, I believe, Firebug by Robert Bloch, and they go to RB 324. Now, there's only 42 books in the series, so there's a big empty space between those numbers. And they were all published by William Hamling in Evanston, Illinois. Most of them were paperback originals. And what happened was, I went to the Mysterious Bookshop, and I found this book, and it's Queen Street by Matthew Gant. And I says, oh, this is a really cool book. I bought it. It's a Regency book, nice to have. And Matthew Gant is actually Arnold Hanno, who was the one of the early, I think the first editor at Lion Books. And he wrote a lot of Westerns, he wrote other books. And this is a cool book. It's Queen Street. I didn't know what it was about. I just thought it was a nice condition Regency book. I've never seen it. And then I looked through it, and I says, man, this is about teenage girl gangs. And on the back it says, the queens, the little girls who should play with dolls and do play with dope, sex, and switchblades, the girl who obey no rules but their own warped code of hatred for the world and a seething desire to spit in its face, the girls who long for kicks, search for violence, and plot their rumbles while the city shudders. So this is the world's toughest street, and it's Queen Street. And that's one of the books in the series. So what happened is I decided I like these books, and I want to collect them as a series for all 42. But I had a few of them because in this series there's a lot of science fiction books and crime books and juvenile delinquent books and things like that in this series. They all have, also they have really nice kind of interesting cover art by Leo and Diane Dillon. There's 2 Harlan Ellison books in the series, and I'm going to show you those now. So there's like Memos from Purgatory, and that's number 106. Number 102 is another Ellison.
Right, but finish telling the story.
Gentleman,
you wanted
Gentleman
to look to
Junkie.
buy them, and what did I say?
He says, do we really need to
But after
collect another series of books?
I said, why don't you look through your collection?
Well, I knew I had a few of them because there's some science fiction books in the Regency series, so I knew I had a few here and there, and I had a couple of the big money books. So I'm actually starting off with 16 of the 42, and I think I'm gonna collect the whole run and fill in the blanks later on. And the good thing is that I do have the major, collectible big money books, so it's not going to it's not going to be crazy to get these books. So now I'm collecting another series of books.
Wonderful.
But it's only 42. And the thing is, with the Regencies are really nice books. A lot of them are paperback originals or first editions. They're very cool books, interesting, and nice, different cover art. Not pulp cover art at all. There's the back covers. See pictures of Ellison over here. So he was the editor of the series after he left Nightstand Books, and he's still working for Hamling. And these are some of his juvenile delinquent stories, crime stories. And when he ran with a gang in Brooklyn, juvenile delinquent youth gang in Brooklyn for a month or so, and used that as his information for the stories. But their thing is, it's a nice series of books. There's some really good books in it, and 42 books. It's a doable series. So I'm just going to show you the ones that I have. Like I say, I only have 16 of them, but and in no particular order. This is number 104, The Brain Buyers. It's a kind of a thriller. Number 311 is The Gilded Witch by Jack Webb. This is a crime novel, one in his series. Number 303, The Hills of Creation by Neil Elliott Blum, is a novel of violence and war in Africa. Number 319, KKK by Ben Haas, is about the Klan, and they're terrorizing. Number 308 is Crimes and Chaos, and a lot of these were written by science fiction writers, even though they're not science fiction. So this is Crime and Chaos, is a novel about crime. I believe it's true crime, but it's by Avram Davidson, who was a science fiction writer. You have number 324, No Law But Their Own, which is true crime, and it's by Joseph Millard. Joseph Millard did a lot of movie tie-ins, and he also wrote the gold medal book that is a color comic book, Mansion of Evil, which is very, very collectible. So, and Joseph Millard wrote some books for Monarch, movie books and science fiction too. Number 322 from 1963. This is the Biggie, The Grifters by Jim Thompson. Very, very sought-after collectible book, and probably the top book in the Regency series. So I have that, so I don't feel so bad. Next one is 317, The Rabble Rousers, by Eric Frank Russell, another kind of sociological book about violence in the modern society by a very well-known British science fiction writer. Then you have 309, You Will Never Be the Same by Cordwainer Smith. Cordwainer Smith is a very, very good science fiction writer, and this is a science fiction novel, and great book, great author. The next one is RB 101. That's the first book in the Regency series, and it was Firebug by Robert Bloch, and by the author of Psycho, of course. It doesn't say, they don't have much on the back except just some information about about the book. Number 110 is Some Will Not Die by Algis Budrys, and this is a science fiction novel, which this is actually a reprint and a rewrite expansion of the book that he did for Lion in the 50s. So, and this is a picture of young Algis Budrys. This is a signed copy that he signed to me. I did an interview with him for Paperback Parade many years ago. And the next one is RB 118, Fire and the Night by Philip Jose Farmer. It's a more of a contemporary novel, interracial romance. Black woman with a white guy. And the last one is 113, The 11th Commandment by Lester Del Rey, famous science fiction author. And this is a science fiction kind of religious, kind of taking, extrapolating religion through a science fiction story. And those are 16 of my Regency books, and missing a few, but out of the 42. But I'm starting to collect a new series, and actually I'm looking forward to it. It's a great series to collect. The artwork by Leo and Diane Dillon and others is interesting. It's different. It's not pulpy, but it's very cool work, and these are really important books. Harlan Ellison did a great job on this imprint, and hope you enjoyed this look at Regency Books. And if you did, give us a thumbs up, and thanks for looking.